It's kit unboxing day. My glasses are steaming. That's how hot the kit is. Hey everyone, it's Kathy Zilski. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Today I've got the brand new Simon Says Stamp July kit and I'm going to unbox it and make things. It has a vibe. And this is the first time I've used a kit where I really preserve this kind of color harmony vibe through the whole thing. But when you see the kit, it'll all make sense. The color palette alone of the pattern paper kit is mwah. I have timestamps below in the YouTube description box if you want to jump ahead in the video. Otherwise, stick around. The unboxing and card makes are coming up next. Commence the unboxing. This is the July 22 card kit from Simon Says Stamp, and it is called You Shine. All right, so we come here in our little paper bag, and let the goodness out. Now, I don't like to show off the stamps before their time, but let's take a look. Oh my gosh. What the heck is all of this? Okay. I am going to flip this around. Don't look at the stamps. Flip them. Okay. And let's start with a sucker. Got a sucker. We always have a sucker. And let's move on to this really tiny emboss and cut element. Well, how cute is that? I have not tried any of these emboss and cuts yet. And that is really cute. It's just like a little 2D embossing folder flower garden, and you can die cut it as well. That's actually really cool. How fun to make a cute card element with that. What is this? Oh, foundry wax. And I would assume maybe this brush is to go with the foundry wax. I have not used foundry wax. This is really cool. I've wanted to. I've seen it done. I may have to look up how to use it because I'm really not 100% sure. That's very cool. This is a whole set from Ideology Tim Holtz window frames. Look at all those frames in there. Now, I haven't done a card with a frame ever, so this is kind of cool. Look at all this. And it's already distressed and painted. I suppose you could do more stuff to it, but that is actually really cool. Huh? We're gonna put something in a window. This is gonna stretch my boundaries. I have a nice little envelope. This is just a Simon Says Stamp Black. And it looks like we have some papers. Now, who are these from? You get 12 sheets from Simple Stories of the Simple Vintage Lemon Twist 6x8 double-sided. Now, I know with double-sided, there's always that thing of like, oh, but what if I want to use, well, I'm going to undo them. Oh, look at that. What a cool pattern. Oh my gosh. You know what you could do? That is very cool. That is very cool. I'm liking the vibe of this already. The whole yellow, black, and teal. That's really cool. Wow. Okay. Mind is swimming. Mind is thinking about how I could work these into the frames as well. Oh my gosh. Look at how cool that is. Simple Stories really does beautiful pattern papers. This is a lot of pattern. Oh, you hate to use all the sides, right? That is, look at the little bees. This is really cute. And it's a ton. Oh my goodness. Okay. Love it. Love it. Very cool. Very vintagey. That is a vibe. And you know, you might not think of me as someone who appreciates the vintage vibe, but if you know me, I love bees. Love bees. Oh gosh, this is great. Look at, I mean, there's so much. These are a beautiful collection of papers and colors. And look at the cool vintage vibes. Ah, and that is a totally different design. That's cool too. That is a beautiful collection of paper. I guess we can reveal the stamps, should we? It's called You Shine, the namesake of the kit. Let's see what the stamps are. Oh, how fun is that? Look at those cute little butterflies and lemons and florals. That is really cute. When life gives you lemons, I love how you make lemonade. That's actually a really cool sentiment. Happy birthday, you're sweet, you shine, you make life sweet. Okay, friends, those people who like to color, you are going to love this. But of course, I always have ways around coloring, so we'll see. That's actually cool. And there are coordinating dies available for these stamps, but they are not part of the kit. So for those who do not like to fussy cut, but I'm going to be fussy cutting. So let's take a look at our cardstock. We have a sheet of bright yellow 100 pound. We have a sheet of 110 pound Neenah Solar White. What? And you get a sheet of the Simon Says Stamp 90 pound matte gold. This is one of my go-to cardstocks lately for greetings and sentiments. And I actually just had an idea that may or may not be cool. But you know what? This is the time when I need to let it sit, right? I need to think. I need to let my my creative wheels start to turn, so that I can decide where are we going to start on today's kit. I'm not kidding about going and watching a video to learn how to use foundry wax, because I don't know how to use it. And that is why I love these kits, because they really do challenge me to create things that maybe I wouldn't reach for and create on my own. But again, look at all that. That is a fantastic collection of products. So that is the unboxing. We are going to move on to the card makes. For this card, I want to use this cute little emboss and cut because I think this is really cool. And it took me a minute. I had to figure out, like, does this pop out? Does it? No, I think we're good to go if we just take a piece of cardstock and pop it in. Now, I cut myself a little 2 3/4 inch square from the gold cardstock because this appears to be about the perfect size. See that right there? For my sandwich, this is what I found works for me. I'm going to have a single plate. I've tried this before, and I don't know the proper sandwich, so I take 2 pieces of cardstock and the embossing folder, okay? Maybe I'll go at an angle too, and let's just run that through and see what happens. I think it's enough pressure to transfer that beautiful pattern and to cut. So let's see if it worked. And, oh, it did. It did. Oh, look how cute that is. The next thing I want to do is pick a cardstock to have as a mat that is going to be just a little bit larger. And I think I'm going to go with this sort of black and white feel. I think I'm going to go with a 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch because, wait, there's 2 3/4 or 3 1/4, because I kind of want to see more of the pattern. Okay, what am I cutting? Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And let's do this friend here. Again, 3 1/4. So now I'm going to have that as the mat, but I'm going to be stamping and putting something on the inside here. So let me grab a piece of paper to stamp that. I've got this positioned in my MISTI, and I trimmed a piece of the Neenah Solar White Classic cardstock, and I think I'm just going to stamp. I mean, do I want to do it at an angle? I think You Shine will fit right in here where it will, you know, I could do it at an angle. So I'm going to pick this up, and I am going to use some gold powder for this. I'm going to take my anti-static powder tool, just add some powder here, and I will be using Versamark. I'll go ahead and ink this up. And actually, if I decide after I stamp it that it looks great straight on, then I'll keep it there, but I just feel like the angle is going to be better. And we will bring in my press tool and let that ink transfer. Like that. And I think that looks great. And I'm going to use ultra fine embossing powder from Brutus Monroe in the color Gilded. Let that sit for a second. And all right. All right. So now we have a nice shiny gold greeting that's going to go behind. See, will it fit in there? Actually, you know what? The stamp threw me off. It will totally fit in there. I'll just have to trim it down. Oh, look at that. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So you know what? I'm going to trim this down. So I put a little foam tape here, and my idea is I'm going to be having that popped up a little. So I want to make a little note card. So let me grab some cardstock to finish out my idea. Something I have not done in a really long time is make a little square note card. And they're really sweet and they're super easy to make. So I've got a piece of 8.5 by 4.25. Did I trim that right? Yes, I did. And I'm going to make just a little square note card. So I'm going to score this right at 4.25. Like that. Fold this down and press. All right. That. I just want this to be right on the card. I'm an over-adheser, so forgive me for that. And we're just gonna line it up here in the center, like that. Yeah, that looks good enough. Okay, pressing that down. All right, I'm gonna put this on a piece of plastic. Check this out. Then I'm gonna just take the backers off here, like that. No, that's, yeah, that is what I wanna do. Take the backers off, okay? Look at me coming up with ideas. All right, we're gonna do it this way because then I know it's not gonna stick to this friend. So now I can just bring this down here a little and that, okay? I might even add a tiny bit of liquid glue because I don't think I have enough adhesive on here. And let's pop you right in the center so that beautiful little mat shows all the way around like that. Okay, a little bit of glue that I got on there and now it's gone. And now I have this little card. And now I'll just put a little bit of shine with these gold to sort of reinforce the design. Oh, come on now, roll off there. Bigger one here. And just 5, right? It's just a nice little number, and then we put one little friend right there. So just a few sequins around, and that is the finished card project. So super simple, right? With that little frame, but isn't that just so fun with the embossed and the die cut? Ah, I think that is super cool. All right, moving on. For this card, I am going to use one of the frames, and I have this idea to take 4 little quadrants of the pattern paper that's going to fit in here perfectly for an element for my card. So what I'm going to do is take some liquid glue, and I'm just going to put a few little, I don't want it to be too heavy, I just want enough to hold my paper. I think this window frame idea is so cute, right? You can do, I mean, you can really do anything with it. Now, as I flip this over, I just want to make sure that I'm putting these in the right order because there is, you know, an up and a down. So all I'm going to do is just drop it right there, okay, for that one. Okay, pick this one up, flip it, make sure it's the right side up, and drop that one in here. That. And then just want to make sure that I'm doing opposite corners. That one is going to go here, like that. And the last one, I cut one of the pieces that had a little messy detail on there because I thought that was very cute. And flip that down and place that right in here. All right. All right, so now look how cute that is. With the opposite corners, I really love how that feels. and I'm going to put this directly on to my card base. So I have a white note card already prepared. This is using the Neenah Solar White Classic Crest. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And now I will just take my liquid adhesive and go mostly around the edges. I don't want to put it in the center because this is patterned paper. I don't want it to buckle or warp on the window openings. I'm just going to do that, but maybe do a little in the seam areas. That. And that. Place that right in the center, and then I'm going to pop this right onto the card base. And because it has the liquid glue, I can kind of wiggle it a little, and it's really sized perfectly for this note card, the USA 2. Kind of wiggle that into place like that. I could double check it, but I think this is straight. Is that straight? Yep, looks straight to me. And press. And just let that adhere. I mean, this is very substantial, right? This is a heck of a substantial greeting card. But now I had an idea for the greeting. Let me grab what I stamped. Off camera, I took one of the stamps from the stamp set and I stamped "You Make Life Sweet" using the same gold embossing powder. And what I'm going to do is just take one of my sentiment label dies that I use quite frequently, and I'm going to cut this out. I thought rather than fussy cut, I am going to make a little banner. And I'm just trying to center the letter forms and not worry as much about the ascenders. The ascenders are the parts of the letters that pop up and over. And then I will cut this out with my die cut machine. And then I think what I'll do is cut a fishtail. I think I'm going to have this come from the right side because this is a repeating pattern and it will be better to have it covering up there. So I'm going to tape this into place on one side because if I don't, I always slip. Probably good. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And we're going to run that through and hope it looks decent. Pick this up. I don't think that tape's going to harm anything. Oh, that fishtail looks just fine. Maybe not perfectly centered, but so we have that. So I'll take my banner and just cut this down right on the right side. I'll make the letters right about there. Then I have a really sweet little banner. I don't think I'm going to pop the greeting up because there's already so much, but I am going to put a little liquid glue right on the point of contact here, like that. And then I will take just a little liquid glue for the point of contact on the outside, like that. And then we can just line this up right on the edge. And I thought it was cute to be down here a little bit. And I'm going to hold that. Actually, I could grab a brick. I'll just let that sit so it can adhere. And that is the finished card project. I don't really think I want to add anything else to it because it's, you know, it's really substantial. But how cute would this be to put with the black envelope? And it's just very homey and vintagey. You could dress it up any way you like, but how fun to mix and match coordinated pattern papers for a really fun card with a really cool dimensional frame. For the next card, I have cut a bunch of strips, just 1/2-inch strips, and I think I have enough. I may have to cut one more of this, but I don't think so. What I'm going to do is I've got a piece of this is a cheaper cardstock that I keep in the craft / dining room when I am doing packaging and storing my stamps. Because what I'm going to do here is I just want to lay down, let's see if I can get this started first. It doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to cut this. So I'm going to put a strip here And I'm just gonna work my way down like this. And I think I'm almost running out of dot runner, but this should be fine. We're just gonna place strips. So now I have my strips, and I'm going to flip this over real quick and just give a little press like that. And I'm just going to use one of my A2 layers dies, and the reason I love doing this is because I can figure out the crop. Actually, I'm going to cut off some of the excess pieces here that I don't need, like that, and that. All right. And the other thing that's nice about this, when I run this through my die cut machine, the die will really press this into the paper underneath. And I think, well, I'm not sure. I would like to get as much of this pattern, and I want it to be straight across. I don't want to angle, so I'm going to tape this down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to cut this just a little bit on the side to make sure it fits through with no problem. All right, I'm going to put it at a slight angle just so that it doesn't take the full brunt of the flat edge. That should be good. And press it through. Crank it. Now we have a beautiful panel. Look at that. It's all pressed in. Isn't that pretty? And yeah, I have that one upside down. It's to keep you on your toes. All right, let's move on. I took a piece of Audrey blue cardstock from my stash because I think this would look beautiful on this as a panel. And then I think what I'm going to do is I want to stamp, I'm not sure which butterfly, but I kind of feel like I want to stamp a butterfly, and I want to stamp it in black ink only, fussy cut it, and then add a greeting from the stamp set. The way I get around coloring when I'm not feeling it is just to stamp something black and white. Black and white can have a lot of impact. I'll grab my Simon Intense Black ink. And of course, if you wanted to color, you certainly could. Simon Intense Black is great for using with your Copics. I'm going to press this down. Probably stamp it again just to get a nice inky impression. Like that. All right. So that is the butterfly. And I think what I'm going to do is stamp a greeting while I am here, because the idea that I have for my butterfly after it's cut out is to have a little hello. I am going to bring in a little piece of Simon Black cardstock, pop my hello here, and I'll pop my happy birthday. Well, will it fit there? Actually, it will. I'll fit my happy birthday. You know what? I'm going to do it this way just in case I decide I want to trim it differently. All right, get you up here. Pick these up. I always like to stamp a couple extras just in case I make a mistake. So I'll rub my finger over these because they're brand new. And let's get our anti-static powder just to make sure when I stamp my Versamark and then sprinkle on my embossing powder that the powder only sticks to where the Versamark is. I think I'm only going to stamp it down once. That should be enough. but I'm definitely going to do the powder and the gilded. I'm kind of feeling a vibe with all of these colors today. Let's let that ink transfer. Let's take a look at how that looks. I love on dark cardstock because it's so easy to see where you have stamped. I think I could have done better out there. There we go. Good. We'll go ahead and add our powder here. Great. That looks nice. Piece there that I don't want. Looks pretty good. All right, I have two potential greetings, but now I need to grab my scissors and I will go ahead and fussy cut this off camera because watching me fussy cut is like watching paint dry. Of course, if you had the coordinating die, it would make it very easy, but I'll be back with the pieces. So there's my fussy cut butterfly, which is not the greatest, but here's what I like to do. When you've done any kind of fussy cutting, take your bone folder and just work your way around the edges because it really will smooth out sort of the janky areas where you may not have cut your best. And I even just kind of massage the edge of the cardstock like that. But I think then that always turns out looking nicer. I'm going to have a little butterfly friend and then I'm going to have a greeting, I think. Let me dust this off. This is where I think the hello would be really nice, and maybe I will save the happy birthday, and we'll see if that is the right touch for this card. This is the general idea, but as I was thinking about it, I decided to do, well, let's see here, got a little janky here. I decided to do a gold on black butterfly, and check it out. This, I think, kind of makes all the difference in the world. This just stood out too much, and I thought it was going to be cool, but I feel like something more along those lines, and then having my little hello just split the difference. I like this. Okay, let's grab some adhesive. And I'm just going to do dot runner on the back of this piece. A little like that, and right onto the card base like that. Yeah, I think that's nice. Press that down. Now I am going to pop this. I want to make sure that I get this at the right position because I want my butterfly to pop a little bit into the margin like that so I don't forget the position. We're going to go right about there. Okay. And again, just take a little dot runner in the back. This one can go right onto the piece. But again, I want to split that right there. So a little is in there and a little is in there like that. Then I'll take the backers off of my foam squares. And these are just regular depth foam squares. Get a little liquid glue on here for a little wiggle room. That and that. And again, I just want to have a little bit hanging into that margin like that. Like that. Isn't that fun? I mean, you can do so much with pattern paper. The other cool thing is we've got the repetition, we've got gold cardstock, we've got gold embossing. You know, if I really wanted to step it up, I could grab some gold sequins, so let me do that. I think that's really simple. Just 5, although I feel like if you're gonna, yeah, there we go. I like that better. Okay, let's go ahead and add our glue. Just a little dollop. Boop. Well, I've got some stickiness on this friend. Okay. Boop. There we go. Better. Splitting those two, just like that, splitting. Anytime you can, break a plane, boop. I like doing that. I think it's interesting because it connects the pieces together. All right, that was not what I expected to do when I started, but you know what? Again, I've got this whole color vibe going. Look at that. That's so fun, and that's just with strips of pattern paper. I think strips of pattern paper to make card panels is one of the easiest and quickest ways, especially if it's a coordinated collection, to make a beautiful and simple greeting card. One more little thing. Look what I could do with that little extra strip that I cut off. I trimmed it down just a little, and I could put that on the outside of the envelope if I wanted to. So many ideas today, right? To create a coordinated envelope and card. For the next card, I'm going to grab this little friend again. And this is where I think I'm going to experiment with the foundry wax, but never say never. We're making a beautiful little frame. Now for the shim, I'm actually going to add one more piece of cardstock. So lavender, I couldn't find my other one. I'm going to add an extra. Now this might be too much, but I really want this to, to pop through. So let's give it a whirl. Will it feed? Oh yeah, well, no it won't. All right, it is a 2 cardstock. You live and you learn. There we go. There we go. That's what it wants. The heart wants what the heart wants, as my friend Laura always says. All right, coming through, coming back. We're just doing that a few times. Just get that groove, get that pressure. All right. And it curves my little friend, but look at how nicely now we have this embossed pattern on, because now we're going to make magic, hopefully, with the foundry wax. So I've shook it up really well. I know this dries really fast, but I feel like this little tonic grip mat piece might be really easy to clean. So here's what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm going to put some here, and I'm going to pick it up with my finger. Ooh, but not too much, right? I don't want too much. And I'm just going to kind of lightly go over the design. And I know it dries fast. I know this because I watched some videos on this so I could learn. But I'm kind of just aging it up, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I got too much in there, but that's okay. Live and learn. Okay, like that. It's kind of funky, right? Look at that. All right, I'm going to really quickly go wash my finger, and then we will proceed. Now I'm going to heat it up. So I've got it on a pad because I don't want to hold this with my fingers. Let me heat up my heat tool. Look at that. Okay, so it does kind of bring it to life. Now, I got a little much down at the bottom, but look at how kind of cool and vintagey that looks. That is funky. All right, moving on. I wanted to do one more to see if I could do it any differently. What if I just took this brush and then just like lightly went over some of the elements on this? Like with that? Like, what if I just kind of distress the whole thing? I know this dries really fast, but what about that? Is that kind of cool to do it that way? Now see, it's already dry. This is funky. I'm feeling stretched. I love it. I love it. Just kind of go over it, like the whole thing. The whole thing. Like that. Mm-hmm. All right, so we have two options here. I don't know which one I like better. This definitely is a little softer, right, and this is a little shinier. I don't know. You know, I think I lean towards this one. I just wanted to see the difference. So let's turn this into a shaker. I'm going to take my little piece of acetate here, and then I'm just going to take a few little pieces of this. Oh, I guess it doesn't tear like I thought it would. All right, let's cut. Okay. We'll put some nice adhesive to hold the window in place. Right in like that. All right, release those. Expose that adhesive. Then I'll take my little piece here, line it right up on the edge, and press that down. So now I have a nice little window in here that will hold my elements. Now I just need to build up the outside of the shaker. I'm going to take my last little piece of foam tape off my roll and just squeeze it together like that to quickly create a double up. Okay, work my way down. Push that through. I just emptied out a whole big mama roll. I've got one on backup. All right. Now I'm going to place this side into the shaker because the sides here don't have a stick to them, which is actually really nice. If you don't know that little tip, it makes it a little less likely that your sequins are going to stick. So, and I'm not going to wrap it. I'm just going to do one here, and this should be narrow enough to stay hidden, yeah, in the element. I want to make sure we trap our sequins inside, okay? But here's what I don't know. Do you want to do black on the inside or as a backer, or do I want to take one of the patterns? Because that could be kind of cute too. Or actually gold could be cute, and that would have a whole, well, that'd be a whole thing actually. So I don't know just yet what we're doing there. Let me think about that. Actually, a gold backer could be very cute. Okay, this one needs to fit perfectly. I think that will be fine. I think it's good enough. No sequins are going to shine or squeeze out through there. I'm going to cut a little piece of the gold. Rather than use my favorite sequin mix, which is the confetti style, I found this in my drawer. This is from Studio Katia. And I'm going to put a few in here like that and just drop a few in. I don't need a ton. And some of these are actually really quite big. You know, maybe that's enough. And now we're going to just line this up right on the back like this. Now, if I got it off a little, I can always adjust. Actually, that looks pretty good. And now we have a little shaker element, and I do think I need to trim just a tiny bit on an edge, but I can just come in here and just kind of trim close, get those little parts that are kind of sticking out a little. So that is a cute, quick little shaker element. Now we need to make a card for it. This might seem a little wild, but I think this is kind of cool. So we've got a gold panel, right, already glued down. I am going to grab my liquid adhesive, and I took the happy birthday that I had already used, right? We're making use of the cast-offs. Now here we're just gonna put a little glue on like that. I'm gonna visually center this friend first, and I'm not gonna pay attention to the shaking part. Just like that, right? And this is just also to show you you don't have to use a little square friend like this only on square cards, right? You can put it on anything. All right, so we're pressing that down. I think that looks straight enough. It's going to take a second to adhere, so see how I can kind of wiggle and shift it and then put something on this for a second. I think that looks nice and straight, and press. And then take my happy birthday I put a foam square on either side. And I know you're thinking, why would you cover up? You know, I don't know. Why would you cover it up? I think because I want to use what I have on hand. And I actually think this is very cute to have right in the center. We're splitting the difference. I have no idea how this is the perfect width, but when I trimmed it down, the happy birthday, and cut it out, I realized it was the right size for this piece. So that's popped up a little like that. And I mean, that's kind of that's a fancy schmancy birthday card. And if I wanted to, I could sprinkle around more of these. I don't know. Let me think. It might tie it together nicely. I am not sure how well I will do with sequins that have holes in them, but we'll see. We'll go right there. Boop. I think I got to do it two-handed. This is why, that's fine. This is why I love the confetti style, but I just didn't have enough confetti style to do this card the way I wanted to do it. So I picked something that I had, and I think this will turn out just fine. So that is a boop. Doesn't quite work the same way. I think this is kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. This is very gold. A lot of gold happening. Of course, that will dry clear. And get you going here. And the last one. This is very different for me. And like I said, these kits challenge me. And it's fun to work and try things that I've never done before. Boop. Like using this stuff. And that's not bad, right? This is kind of got that whole vintagey vibe, but yet at the same time, you got a shaker happening. This is a very austere design. And that is the finished card project. I hope this video has inspired you to check out the latest kit from Simon Says Stamp. You can find links below to the kit, and you can also become a monthly subscriber and get these kits delivered to your doorstep automatically. And you can cancel anytime you like. All right, I'll see you back here with more card project inspiration soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.